To do the couching stitch, you're going to need something that you're going to couch. It works well for threads that you really couldn't stitch with. I'm just using a piece of yarn here. If you can, we're going to put a knot in that thread or yarn or whatever you're using and bring it up from the back side. Some things are going to be thick enough that you can't. I've drawn a line where I'm going to couch on it, and I'm just going to lay the thread over that line as I go. Now I'm going to take another thread, and I'm using a contrasting thread so that you can see it. You can use a contrasting thread to make the couching line decorative, or you can use a matching thread to hide it. I'm coming up on one side of the thread, the laid thread, the one that I'm couching, and going back down on the other side. So it's basically just a tack stitch. Then I'm moving forward and coming up on the side where I came up originally, and then just going back down again. And I just keep running that along the thread. You can play with spacing if you want it to be decorative, by grouping your couching stitches. Mine aren't very even here. If you're using contrasting thread like I am, you're going to want to be more careful. If you're using matching thread, it kind of blends in. And just keep following it all the way till you have your laid thread couched down. And you can do it with a stab stitch, or you can do it with the running stitch underneath like I was showing. You might get it a little neater with the stab stitch. When you come to the end, you can take your laid thread back to the wrong side, and you'll knot off both threads. These are some hexagons where I've actually done some couching. On this one I used 4 strands of silken chenille and just couched over the top of it for the stem on the flower. This one I used the Santa's beard. The whole sheep is couched. What I did in this case was basically outline the sheep with my first row, and then I just kept filling in. And I did use a matching thread, so you really can't see it, and that just gives him his woolly appearance. On the strawberries, I laid lines at an angle, and then I just came back and couched right over the intersections to hold it down.